Hello, I'm Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0. My co-host here, Van Sickle, has just come back from the LIV Golf tournament in Chicago, and he has a report on that. And we also want to talk a little bit about Tiger Woods. Gary,
Who?
why don't you?
Tiger who?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, do you mean this guy?
Yes.
Well, it looks just like him, doesn't he? The fist,
Yeah.
they got the fist pump right, and no,
Are
they got
those
nothing right. Got the Nike hat right. They got that right.
were those the ones from the Tour Championship?
This is from the Tiger Slam 2001 Masters
Oh,
tournament.
okay.
I don't know who sent this to me. I did not purchase it.
Got it.
I'm not into bobbing head dolls. If it's not inflatable, I'm not interested. So
Back to Tiger.
yes, well, yeah. Nota Begay was interviewed because he's turning 50, and I think it was Golf Week he talked to, and among other things, of course, he talked about Tiger because he's still buddies with him. And
Right.
he said, don't bet against him winning another one. He said, I think he's still got one more in him, which was an
And
interesting comment. Now, he may have seen Tiger play more recently than we have, but we haven't seen too much in his latest comeback to inspire confidence.
correct.
If you had to bet most of your money that you have, which is billions, if you were forced to, would you bet that Tiger will win another tournament or not? And just for fun, let's include the father-son tournament. But let's say, is he going to win another tournament with or without the father-son event?
I would have said after the accident that there was no way he was going to play professional golf again. And of course, that happened, and Tiger went out and played the Masters. So I would hate to bet against him, but he would have to pick something that was a flat golf course where he's comfortable and doesn't have to hurt himself a lot walking. I think the swings he makes can probably be okay if he's not exhausted walking. And I think that's the hard part.
Well,
How about you?
the other thing is, I agree. You would have lost a lot of money betting against Tiger Woods over the last 30 years. So it's just something I wouldn't do. But from what we've seen, I don't see it. However, he may have gotten, in 6 more months, he rushed back to play in those events this year. In the last 3 or 4 months, maybe he's made improvements.
Oh, he might have.
It's possible. He's also getting to that age where your putting stroke just goes away. I mean, I'm well past that age, and I know all about that. So I'm not a professional golfer. I did stay at a Holiday Inn the other night, actually, in Indiana. However, that doesn't qualify me to make a judgment. But he's at that age where the putter is. He's had a lot of great clubs in his bag, but that putter is one of the things that made him so unbeatable.
Well, he can practice putting. He can practice putting without hurting himself too much if his back's okay.
Yeah, but you're at that age where your
says.
hands get flinchy and all that stuff happens. I mean, hardly anyone's been immune to it. Hale Irwin was one of the few guys who putted better later in life than they did in regular tour. But Nicklaus putted pretty well into his late 50s.
So you're saying you bet against Tiger Woods in this instance?
If you were forced to bet everything you own, you'd almost have to bet against it. But
yeah.
If I'm sitting here saying, would I bet against him? No, I would not bet against. I'm with Nota. I would not bet against him. But if I had to, I suppose I would. Now,
well, he's tied with Snead right now, right?
Yeah, he's tied with Snead. He needs one more to break the record.
Right.
I guess the big question is, where would he get it? Can he
that's
really
what I was
walk
thinking.
the Masters for 4 days? That's because that's one of the hilliest courses they play.
Well, he's not going to go.
Do you really think he's going to play anything but the new elevated events on the PGA Tour?
No, it'll be one of the elevated events.
Now you're down to that. So I mean, Bay Hill
If you,
is reasonably flat,
yes,
not super flat. It's got a couple of hilly holes. So, I mean, and he's won a lot there.
the
That would be a
Memorial, it has
possibility.
hilly.
Uh, Torrey Pines is a little hilly.
I don't think so. I think it's more flat than hilly.
You
I
got
don't
some
remember
hills
it
on the
being a
back
hard draw.
nine. You go down in the ravine, and,
13.
but that's a possibility. But I think you'd have to look ahead at some major sites and
Oh, I see what you mean.
LA
All
Country
right.
Club. I don't remember. I only played there once. I don't remember what the status of that is, how flat it is. But I don't.
So
The
you're
Masters seems like an unlikely one.
so you're trying to get him to a place where he knocks off another major and uh, beats Snead's record at the same time. So it's a twofer, not just a one-fer.
Well, yes.
If you're
I
going for
mean,
a flat golf course, he should go to Hawaii and play the Sony Open. But I
yeah,
don't see that happening.
he's not going to do that.
No, he's not.
He's not, he'd go to Colonial. Well, he's never, he had a bad experience there the first time. He's never gone back. As his mother said, Tiger forgive, he no forget. That was her quote many, many years ago about some slight. So he will never go back to Colonial, I don't think.
Well,
Other
it's too
elevated
bad.
events. I mean, who else has got a flat course? Bethpage Black. That's got a
No,
few hills.
no, that's too many hills.
But I'm just trying to think. Valhalla's hilly.
Yes,
If you're thinking he's going to win a major championship, you need to look ahead at the
Rochester
list. I mean, honestly,
is
St. Andrews
hilly
this
enough.
summer was the ideal place,
Yeah, it
but
was.
he wasn't ready. I mean, so I don't have I think he's got a good chance his next win will probably be in the father-son event, and maybe
Well, it might
he'll be
be.
riding Charlie to victory.
Well, he might, but if he's able to top 10 in anything this year, then I think then we have to really take him seriously. If
Right.
he's not able to do that, then
if we see some sign that his game is returning, then
yeah,
all bets are off. He can win anywhere,
correct.
but we have
You
to
hate to
see
go
that.
against Noda too.
If he's going to win, the question is, where is he going to do it? And here's the other thing about him winning. If he does win again, wherever it is, it's going to be the greatest win of his career.
Oh yeah,
the greatest win of his career. And because of that, it's going to be the hardest one to get. The guys get older, they find it harder to win because they haven't won for a while. And now it means so much more to them. And in Tiger's case, it's going to be the greatest win ever. So he's always looked invincible against pressure. But guys get in their mid-40s, their games aren't quite as solid. Can he still do that? So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons.
I think he's the exception.
There's no rules for Tiger Woods. He's outside.
He's the exception to not being able to play in your 40s.
I think everybody
would be able to do like DJ
do it, but I would not. It'd be hard to bet money. Now, if I got odds, that'd be a different story. But no, I'd like to see. I'd like to see him. Charlotte wouldn't have been bad. That wouldn't. That's not the hilliest course, as I recall.
Why do I remember hills? Maybe I've got it confused with.
18.
Atlanta.
18. You go down it. I mean, nothing's dead flat except St. Andrews. So once you're past that, I can't think of a great course, a great site where Bay Hill is. I mean, or Honda.
Bay Hill's fairly flat. Honda's very flat.
I guess if I had to rank them in order, I'd probably put Bay Hill and Honda right up there. But he hasn't played Honda in a few years, so
right.
And if Honda is not an elevated event,
Texas Open,
I just don't think he's.
Yes, we don't know. We don't know what the 4 wild card elevated events are going to be yet.
Yeah, but they're not going to line up 3 or 4 in a row in Florida. They're not going to be, you got the Players and the Bay Hill Arnold Palmer Invitational that are going to be elevated. So you're going to put Honda in there. You're going to have 3 in a row. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I'm just saying we don't know yet. And whoever is the elevated event this year probably won't be the elevated event next year. I mean, now they're going to have to change up those super events, the wild card things, to keep tournaments happy. If the tournament sponsors are able to go along, where's that extra money coming from? Is that coming from the PGA Tour, or is that coming from the sponsors? Now, if I'm a tournament director and I have a tournament, I sure want to do everything in my power to figure out a way to be an elevated event, even if it's just 1 year in a row. And then you have to fall out for a while and give the other tournaments a chance and then get back in. I mean, I think that's what you have to do.
Well, I'm thinking about the West Coast. Phoenix is relatively flat, but he hasn't played there in forever. Riviera is not
It's
too
flat
bad
once you get
you're on
down
the
the
golf
hill.
course, but going up and down to the clubhouse is murder.
Oh, they need a
Pebble
Skyver
Beach,
for
the
that.
weather's too cold. He'd never do that one again.
And it's not Pebble so much, but the other Spyglass is hilly.
And Torrey is, again, it's not the warmest that time of year. He's already figured out that cool weather is not ideal for his back. So I don't think there's, other than Phoenix or Hawaii, tournaments he hasn't played in years or ever, I don't see him playing those and winning. So I mean, I would rank Bay Hill number one and Honda number two as places where he could do it. I suppose players, except is he exempt into that?
I don't know. When did he win the?
Well, I think we
Masters?
all know.
No. Well, he won in 2019.
He won the Masters, he won the Masters. He's still exempt for.
It would be on a.
Those would be my top three picks of where he could get his next win.
Would that be a great place for him to do it? It's flat. He knows how to play the course. It's difficult from a mental standpoint to play it well.
Doesn't really have a great track record, except for the fact that he did win it a couple times, but a lot of other times he didn't do. I remember the time
because the weather is changeable, and anybody can end up winning it. It doesn't like anybody. The course hates the world.
He DQ'd there once. I remember that.
Oh, I had forgotten that.
Was that the one where the helicopter camera followed him leaving in the van for a while?
That's when he walked off at the 6th hole.
Yeah. Well, anyways, things happen.
Yeah.
So I guess our verdict is probably not, but if he does, it would probably happen in Florida, which would be if it happens, it'll be the biggest win. It'll eclipse that 2019 Masters. Be incredible.
I don't know if it'll eclipse it or not. I may disagree with you on that.
I think his next one will be, the fact that he came back from this accident.
Yeah.
Overwhelms anything else he's done in his career.
Well, and does that mean he's done? Is he still chasing Jack's record? We don't know that either. Well, maybe he doesn't think he's finished.
No, well, athletes never do because they know they used to do it and they know they can't figure out. Even guys like me at an amateur golf level, you used to be able to hit these good shots. There's no reason I can't still do it, except
you can't.
Except they don't show up. You don't feel like you can't. So that's the nature of athletics. You have confidence and a long memory when you don't need one.
Well, moving on, because we need to do that.
That's one heck of a segue.
Oh, well, I try. You were at a LIV Golf tournament in the Chicago area, the one at Rich Harvest Farms. And so I have questions for you. What was it like? And what was it like with the music? What was it like with the players? What did the fans say? What was the golf course setup like? Answers, please.
Well, that's a lot of questions all at once.
I mean,
which one do you want to start with?
Music. What was it like to have all that music? And was it on 1 and 10 and 9 and 18, but not on the rest of the holes?
I don't know where they have the speakers, but it's so loud that the first day I was there, I was parked in the parking lot, probably a good par 5 away. It was great parking, good par 5 away in a field from the clubhouse, and you could plainly hear the the beat of the drum and the thumping
Wow.
or whatever, and you could hear the music. You could hear there was music. Couldn't necessarily tell what song it was, but you could hear it out there. So they were piping it onto the range and onto the course. I didn't notice it so much. I mean, Rich Harvest Farms is really spread out, and I did not go all the way out to the outer rim because I didn't have a map on how to get back. I didn't leave breadcrumbs, but you could hear it out in the golf course. And
Okay.
my moment was, look, it's been an issue for a couple of years now. Amateur golf, you go play golf with recreational, somebody in your
Yeah.
foursome brings a iPod or whatever player, and they have the magnetic speaker they clamp on the
Stick it on the
thing
golf
of the
cart.
cart, they clamp it on there, and they play music. And I don't have a problem with that. There was a guy once who was playing like kind of heavy music. It's like not Metallica, but I mean it's close. It's like really, but I like music, so I'm fine with it. My moment. There's a lot of people who were opposed to it, a lot of purists, but I was at the 18th green on the first day, Friday, and Ian Poulter was chipping. I forget who he was playing with. I want to say he was with Scott Vincent and somebody else, but they don't have grandstands. They just have like a mezzanine thing where you can stand around with tables, put your drink out there, and have the viewing areas. I mean, it's a build, but it's not bleachers.
Okay.
And normally there's noise, people are talking, especially when there's drinks involved. People are talking, they're not paying attention to the golf.
Yeah.
So like at Phoenix, there's all this ambient noise, which is okay because there's so much of it. But at a normal golf tournament, when everyone's supposed to be quiet, if there's only 3 people who aren't, they stand out, and it just, boom, it's obvious. And these guys back away, or a porta-john door slams shut and the guy shakes the guy. Well, now with the music, it creates the white noise background that wipes all that out. It's kind of like, elevator music while you're Christmas shopping or whatever.
Okay.
I wasn't there very long, and it's like, this is actually better. You don't hear all these people talking, all this stuff. A lot of constant steady noise. Guys have said it for years. Steady noise is better than quiet with occasional unexpected noise, and that's what it is. So they won me over with that. I think the big question is, what kind of music you're going to play. I'm not going to sit here and say they were playing the Eagles' greatest hits or anything. I don't know what they were playing. It was a lot of like electronic music and beat music. If you listen to Sirius Radio, they have a couple of channels around 53, 54. It's good background stuff, but it wasn't like the greatest hits by the Platters or the Temptations or Bobby Rydell or any of the other current rock groups that I've just named. That's a joke, of course. They're not current.
That's going
Bobby
back.
Rydell's still alive, though, I'm pretty sure. But they're not playing the greatest hit. They're recognizable songs for me, but I don't think they're top 40 songs. It was more stuff. But I thought it was good. Same with the shorts. Who cares? They're wearing shorts. It doesn't bother me at all. When they're out playing golf, you're not there. It's not a fashion show. Now if they're wearing t-shirts and hoodies or something, or that might be different. Although it still wouldn't bother me because I play with plenty of guys who playing t-shirts. I wonder if I was thinking uniforms with numbers like football uniforms.
Oh,
the team, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that actually. Even though I
did like that one picture you sent to me that had the guy standing with a flaming golf ball on his shirt, or it must have been a t-shirt.
That was
just a screaming golf ball. It was great.
Yeah, that was one of the LIV team logos.
Yeah, who is it? You said Sergio's team? Sergio's team?
Yeah, what's the name of that one?
I have no idea what any of the teams are.
Oh, I already forgot the name of that one.
Well, I thought I had a list of that,
but I don't.
Okay.
So that
you're confused.
The shorts are fine. The other big wrinkle is the shotgun start. And I
don't know. I don't like that.
Well, it looks terrible when they do it.
Yeah, but you said it gets people around faster.
I was in a fundraising tournament in Wisconsin for type 1 diabetes. It's called Tee Up for the Cure. at Geneva National at Lake Geneva. And all these carts are lined up. We're using 2 courses, the Palmer course, the Trevino course. Okay, let's go out to the shotgun start. Let's go. And 1 row of carts goes, and the next row you have guys directing traffic. It was very organized. LIV Golf, the carts were lined up kind of in 2 rows, but they kept, it was like herding cats. They kept calling players, place reports or the carts. We had time to start. Because they have, in the fan area, they have this big countdown on the screen, which I shot video of. They count it down from 20, 19. They have people count down 10, 9. It's kind of fun. But the carts don't go out in an orderly fashion. Finally some just start going, and it looks terrible. There's a guy and a caddy, and then the next one, there's a guy and his girlfriend. And they don't go in succession. It's not like the first lap of the Indy 500. They just, here comes 3, and then not nothing. Here comes 5 more. It was very disorganized, but the part I like is you're standing at the 18th green instead of having to wait 2 hours for players to show up with a normal split tee start where they start on 1 and 10.
Right.
Players are on the 18th green in 7 minutes. Here we got action.
Yep.
So this is a way to appeal to people who maybe are not golf purists, golf traditionalists, who maybe, I hate to say this, but in a lot of ways, these LIV Golf gimmicks are for people who don't really like golf that much, to make it more accessible and more fun. And I think that shotgun start really does it. It gets out the players completely on the course instead of going off 1 and 10. And, after 45 minutes, there's still only players are playing on 3 holes. So I don't like the way it looks, but after I saw it in action, and I like it. I don't think it would work with 144 guys.
I don't know how you get them around.
72 in each wave. You have 72 players, so that's 24 threesomes on 18 holes. That'd be kind of awkward to see Jordan Spieth on the 12th hole going, are you guys 12A or 12B? Okay, yeah, you go first. But the end result is it's good. Everybody's on the course and they go, and it's confusing about where they start. They're not playing the course the way it was supposed to be played, but they don't do that anyways with the split tees. Once I saw it in action, I changed my mind. Although, like I said, it looks terrible to watch them start. But once they're on the course, this is great. Everybody's on the course. And, it's fair because now if a rainstorm comes up after 2 hours, the last group just going out in the rain, these other guys have already got 9 holes in. Everybody gets closer to similar weather. Now,
there's no bad side of the draw.
That wouldn't be the case. But anyways, there's a lot of reasons to like it, even though it's untraditional. I changed my mind.
There's no bad side of the draw. There's no bad side of the draw because everybody's out at the same time.
There's no bad side of the draw. And, you can see where it's not ideal for everything. Imagine if you were in Augusta and it's a windy day and, I'm starting on number 12.
Yeah.
I might start out I might make a 12 on my first hole on number 12 on a bad day. And then what am I might as well just withdraw and walk in at that point. So, but that won me over. They have a fan village. By the way, subscribe now. It's free. Shameless plug. Just click on subscribe.
Very well done.
Nothing will happen to you or your family. But if you don't subscribe, something might. I don't know. Click on like, help us out. We're trying to make 12 cents on this deal. That's all.
Just 12 cents.
As soon as we make 12 cents, we're going to quit doing it. So if you subscribe, we'll stop that.
Get rid of us faster. That's right.
No, they have a fan village at LIV and just a lot of little stuff. There was a really fun one. It was called the Impossible Putt. And
I saw that video.
Show, holy moly. It looked like one of their holes.
Okay.
They had a bunch of hay bales, and then there was this big miniature golf putting green, but it was banked. So you had to hit a putt up the bank, past the hay bale, and then it would come screaming down the hill toward the cup, which was on the other side of the hay bale, which the guy putting couldn't see the cup when he was putting, because it's like a big upside down horseshoe.
So it's all luck, is what you're saying.
Well, no, you had to figure out. It's like a pool shot. You had to figure out the angle and do it. I saw a guy make him. Somebody make him 2 days in a row. I'm at the same
Wow.
guy. I saw two players make it, and I think I got one of
They
them.
got a prize.
I sent you some video. I think I saw a video of a guy making one.
Yeah, I
We
was
should be
shocked when I
watching.
saw it.
Let's go to the video right now, Kathy. Put that up. You weren't saying we're technological challenge. You can't do that, are you?
I can't do that right this minute, but people will see the
Okay. Well,
video.
watch our show. Some other time that'll be up. But it's just little stuff that you can throw a baseball and it tells you how hard you throw it. I saw one guy throw his arm out. It was great. They have a area where you throw a football through a hole in the screen, and I think you get some trash and trinkets if you do stuff.
Okay.
And they have a big stage where they have concerts every night.
Okay. I did wonder about the golf course setup because we had talked in one previous program about seeing many low scores, and you pointed out that there are many low scores in the PGA Tour every week too. And I was saying yes, but when you see scores that low and you've got like a quarter of the field being the kind of golfers who can go low all the time, it was just a little suspicious. And I wondered about the length of the rough or the speed of the greens or what you were able to see in terms of course setup.
It didn't look much different. There was significant rough, but it wasn't like horrible. I think the big problem is there aren't that many golf courses in the world that are long enough for these guys.
Right.
So they go out there, and almost everywhere they play is basically a par 69 for almost everybody in the field. Three of the par fives they can reach, or there's a par 4 they can almost reach, and these guys are so good with a wedge that if they got a 40-yard pitch shot on a par 4, they're going to birdie it 3 out of 4 days. So I think that's the bigger issue. And I was only in person at one of them. I don't know how the other 4 were set up, but I think it's more an issue of length. Rich Farms is a unique course, and I'll leave it. Description of that place as unique, and you can figure out whether I think that's good or bad. It's unique.
It's way on the west side of Chicago, isn't it?
It's way out, almost beyond civilization. Although civilization, you can't find it. It's surrounded by cornfields. The roads are not good. I had a heck of a time finding it even the second day I went. Even though I knew where it was, I still couldn't find it.
Well, Naperville used to be the end of the world, too.
To find the entrance. You just can't find it. I tried following the traffic, and that got me on. The traffic was going to Interstate 88, not the golf course, so that didn't help.
Naperville used to be way, way, way west, and now stuff
Sugar Grove is
way beyond.
Yeah, I stayed in Naperville, and Sugar Grove was past Naperville, and past Sugar Grove, I think, is Iowa. So I mean,
past Sugar Grove is the Quad Cities tournament.
Yeah, it's probably closer to the John Deere Classic than it is to downtown Chicago.
Yeah. So all in all, your assessment of LIV is not as bad as anticipated or feared.
I wrote something that I compared it to the PGA Tour Champions. If you go in person to a LIV event or a PGA Tour Champions, you're going to have a fun day. You get to watch, you're not fighting 70,000 other fans. You're fighting, who knows, anywhere between 5,000 and 15,000. You can get up close. You can see the players. They clearly have this air of fun there with the music playing and all these things going on.
Yeah.
And as a spectator, you'll have a fun day. Now, as a viewer at home on TV or as a media person, you're like, well, this tournament doesn't really mean anything other than the fact that the guy gets a big check. Yeah, it's like the senior tour. It's basically an exhibition.
Yeah.
But I think you can boil it all down to one thing, and this is what I wrote, is if you like golf, here's more golf to watch featuring some of the world's best players. So what's wrong with that? It's more golf. You don't have to watch it, but it's more golf. If you don't like golf, then you should, put bowling back on your TV and quit complaining.
Is bowling on anymore?
Yes, but don't ask me what channel. Why isn't there a bowling channel? I'd watch that.
You'd think there would be. You'd think it would deserve its own channel, the popularity it
They
used
could
to have.
recycle all those old shows. We could
Yeah.
watch Championship Bowling with Billy Whaloo,
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Carmen Salvino, and all the greats.
Okay. I don't know who the greats were,
Well, those were two
but
of them. Don Weber
but
was
it
the
used.
all-time greatest.
Oh yeah, I
Bettor.
can imagine. But you wanted to talk about the odds for betting,
Yes.
about it being different.
All right. So it's empirestakes.com. It's a betting site from New York. New York is the Empire State. So I guess Empire Stakes is a clever
Okay.
name. I don't know. But they have odds out. You can make a bet on who LIV might get a TV deal with before 2023, which I thought was hilarious. That who even cares enough to bet on that? But how it is, if it has more than one leg and it can walk, you can bet on it. So
Right.
Fox is the favorite at plus 200, which is basically 2-1. Staying on YouTube is 250, which is 2.5-1. Netflix 800-1. Roku, I think we all know what that is 1,200-1. Flow Sports, again, I'm not familiar, 1,700-1. Or you can just take the field, which is anybody else,
Anybody?
and that's
Okay.
300 or 3-1. So who you
Well,
taking in
Greg,
that? Who you betting on in this one?
I'm betting on somebody related to a Murdoch. Don't the Murdochs still have interest in the Fox um,
Well,
channels
Liv
around?
hired somebody. I forget his name, but they hired somebody recently who came from Fox. So I think
Well,
that's one of the reasons why they're the favorite.
well, Rupert Murdoch is from Australia, and his family is from Australia, even though they may not be there anymore. And all of those people were very good friends with Greg Norman at one point in time. What their status is right now,
Well,
I
so
don't
was
know. But
Jack
if
Nicklaus. So how's that looking?
yeah, well, but in 1994, Greg said he had Fox or he had Rupert Murdoch ready to do the television. So it would not surprise me if it were some kind of combination of a Fox entity televising it. And it may not even be in the United States. It may be in Asia, uh, because there are a lot of countries over there that are golf crazy. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
have to be on the air in the United States in order for them to do well.
so you're taking all the money you won from the bet on Tiger Woods earlier in the show,
Yes,
and you're forced to bet it, put it on one of these things. One of the networks.
I'm doubling down on some kind of Fox
You're betting it
enterprise.
on Fox at 2-1. That's
Yeah,
odds are low. I'm
yeah,
going
but
to
I'm
take
going to be a
I'm
winner.
I don't know. Your Roku sounds like the weird kind of thing that somebody might do to be cutting edge, but I think I would take the field at 3-1 because it could that way it's somebody else. I get everybody else.
Yeah,
I get
that's
more value for my dollar.
that's
I get
correct. You do.
everybody except these 6 entities. So
Well, I don't bet often, so that's why. Well,
I
I
do.
think we're starting the President's Cup this week, so I think rather than continuing what we've been doing, unless you have another topic that you want to jump in with, we should wrap it up and run to your nearest television set or turn on your nearest computer and get up to speed on what's going on with the President's Cup because it's a great event. And we'll see you next week.
Let's hope it's close.